Welcome back, folks. Apologies, just a bit of technical difficulties here at Lowell Park. Zach Agnos on again, a base knock, and there goes a Cotuit Kettleer rounding second, heading for third. Figueroa now thinking about home, held up by Roberts, but a base knock there from Nathan Martorella. Men on first and third, and the Kettleers are on top of Agnos. Figueroa on base on an infield single, a ground out, or a grounder to Christian Knapczyk, and was not able to make the transition between the glove and the hand. It would have been a hard throw anyway, and I think Figueroa would have beat it out. Peter Burns now out in a first and third situation, giving signals. Zach Agnos on the mound for the second inning. He took over for Austin Parsley.
Yeah, apologies about our stream cutting out. The Wi-Fi here at Cotuit can sometimes be a bit tricky, and I feel like we're a little lucky it lasted as long as it did. But for the Braves, they scored 2 more runs at the end of, right when the stream cut out, Ben Huber was at the plate. The Braves scoring 2 more runs on a wild throw from Matt Donlin. It was an E2 that brought home Rushing and Lampy. 10-1 Braves, a comfortable 9-run lead here for Agnos with 2 on.
And a breaking ball, as nasty as that 95-mile-per-hour fastball is, so too is the off speed, and it catches the zone in the swing and a miss, 0-2. So Agnos now in a bit of a sticky situation with 1 man in scoring position at third, Figueroa, and Martorella at first. This is actually David Smith, number 23, from the University of Connecticut, Pennsylvania native. Smith now being put in from the dugout. Roberts opting to put a couple more guys in the mix who have not gotten their share of reps. Agnos breaking ball, that's going to do it.
How about Zach Agnos?
Striking out the Yukon kid. I thought we had all the Yukon players.
Not right?
It seems like every single guy Harvey Shapiro brings aboard is a Yukon Husky. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. The Braves tack on 2 more after a wild throw from Donlin. 10-1 check swing. I think he went in. He did. 83-mile-per-hour breaking ball from the ECU Pirate. Smith has struck out. There's only 1 out. Men on first and third. This is Donlin. Thought about a breaking ball. He pulled back, and that one drifts a bit too far outside. 1-1 with 1 out. Infielders in their normal positions, no coverage of the base runners. The 1-1 taken up the middle. That's going to be an RBI single for Matt Donlin. Scoring Figueroa from third. It's 10-2. Agnos with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball on the inner half of the zone, taken right up the middle by the 9-spot hitter. And Cotuit tacks on 1. 8-run cushion still for Zach Agnos on the mound for the second time this season. We saw him in the final game of the regular season at Hyannis. That was at McKeon Park. And Agnos was able to get out of 2/3 inning with no earned runs. He's sitting in the mid-90s with his fastball, even scratched 95 on the gun at one point. The Braves still hold an 8-run lead in Game 2 of the West Division playoff series, the best of 3. If the Braves continue this trend, we're going to be traveling to Doran Park for Game 3 tomorrow. Grounder over to Knapczyk. He charges the throw. Not in time. It gets past Rushing. It bounces off his hip. Throwing home. Throwing to third now. Max Anderson with the tag. He's safe. And another Kettleer scores. Martorella scores from third.
Yeah, now 10-3 as Martorella comes home. Donlin at third. Max Anderson, a great throw from Rushing. Was a little behind the back, and then Donlin almost hesitated as if he was going to get in a rundown. And then once he saw Anderson was behind the back, slid into third right before the tag. So runners at the corners, 1 down, a 10-3 game. Obviously still a 7-run comfortable lead, but you can't get too comfortable against this Cotuit offense, especially when you got Trice, Ritter, and Eric Brown. But a pinch hitter here for Carter Trice. As we'll tell you about the pinch hitter, it's going to be Trent Jeffcoat.
So it seems that Roberts has really changed up the entire lineup in a way, adding in pretty much every other guy from the dugout. In a time where it seems that the Kettleers are now rallying. The Braves still trail, or I should say, they still lead by 7. It's 10-3, and Zach Agnos, as effective as he was in the 7th, is now struggling a bit. Seems that the Kettleers have caught up with that fastball and have recognized the breaking ball. The Cotuit fans coming alive. Going as the first base runner. The throw from Peter Burns. Called safe. A brilliant slide there from Jace Grady under the tag of Knapcheck.
Yeah, Pete came up throwing in a hurry, but great tag. Great throw by Pete. Just good base running. Stole that on the pitcher, did Grady.
As expected, Jace Grady steals from first to second. 2 men in scoring position. And just like that, the Kettleers are rolling. It looks like they just called a balk on Zach Agnos.
Sure did.
Which now means that Matt Donlin comes in to score. And Jace Grady moves over to third. It's 10-4. The Cotuit Kettleers are coming back. 3 runs scored in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, the silver lining to this all is the Braves have Eric Adler waiting in the Braves bullpen. So a weapon you can turn to at any time. Harvey Shapiro, who just walked out of the dugout, not sure if he wants to make a change. Maybe Agnos gets one more hitter here in Jeffcoat.
Oh, and that hits Jeffcoat. In the back, a 94-mile-per-hour fastball, and I have to think Eddie Marco and Harvey Shapiro might be thinking of making a change. Only one out now with men on first and third, not to mention Ryan Ritter, the leader in the average column for the Kettleers, now due up.
Yeah, it's getting a little interesting. I'm sure Harvey Shapiro, he is out of the dugout. He'll go make the change to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new Braves pitcher when we come back here to Lowell Park, 10-4 Braves.
Ben Etheridge, the guy who we really expected to come in relief in the first hand for Austin Parsley, now taking over for Zach Agnos. And Agnos, impressive stuff, but allowed 3 runs with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th with men on first and third. Harvey Shapiro taking no chances, putting in one of his best relievers from Southern Miss.
Yeah, Ben, after that rough first outing of the year, he's an original guy out of the bullpen. He had that rough first outing of the year at Falmouth, 5 runs, and didn't record it out. But since then, he's been phenomenal. Etheridge, after that, just 5 runs the rest of the season. Over 19 innings pitched, so you got to love what you've seen from Etheridge. That ERA at 4.73 inflated from that first outing, so Ben's a strike thrower. You know, maybe there's a debate between him out of the sitting with 1 away and runners at the corners.
Well, Ben Etheridge now dealing with men at first and third. He goes and checks over to Dalton Rushing, safe clearly. A 94-mile-per-hour Zach Agnos heater.
Yeah, can't feel good.
Right on the butt. The 0-0. Etheridge low and outside, ball 1. Ryan Ritter, the shortstop. He's coming up for his 4th time. He's 0 for 3. Very rare for Ritter from the University of Kentucky. A hitless game. Etheridge checks back over to Jeff Cote. 10-4. Line. Boy, that one stayed fair. You would have had Jeff Cote coming all the way around, and easily scoring would have been Jace Grady, who stands. Breaking ball on the outside, swing and a miss from Ritter.
That was filthy.
Here we go, man!
78 on the gun, and it took its time to the plate. 2-2, 1 out. The double play ball is still in play. Knapczyk and Tanner Schobel pinching second. Jeff Cote at first, Jace Grady at third. Ritter takes time, and Etheridge remains in the stretch. Count knotted at 2. Ritter sets. Breaking ball, chased and swung on and missed. Down goes Ritter on a nasty breaking ball, dropping off the table and making the Kentucky Wildcat chase well outside the zone for out number 2.
Yeah, beautiful breaking ball there by Etheridge, and Ritter went way out of the zone to chase that breaking ball.
2 outs, 1 out closer to sending it to the top of the 9th, where the Braves will have one more opportunity to add on to their 6-run lead. Calling time, Eric Brown Jr. out of the box. It was just as Etheridge was coming out of his stretch. 0-0, Jace Grady still at third. Behind him, Jeff Cote. Peter Burns keeps it in front of him, but it's ball 1. High and inside to the 4 spot, Eric Brown Jr., who is also 0 for 3 on the night. He lined out to left in the first, struck out in the 4th, and popped.
To give you an update, the Brewster Whitecaps beating the Harwich Mariners 2-0 at the moment.